indeed watching the Blitz. It is week 10. That is hard to believe. Ricky Doyle and Joaquin Sanchez. Before we dive in to all the highlights tonight, we've got a special high school Blitz. Want to tell you what we've got going on. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we wanted to do our part, hence the pink ties and the pins. But more importantly, our Friday forecast games, the games where we pick the winners. For every game we pick correctly, each member of our team is going to donate $5 to the Komen Fund of Austin. So we'll get to those games here momentarily, but that's going to be pretty cool. And well, why don't we get into it? Let's look and see where our friends are tonight. Also looking pretty in pink, Jeff Platt and Travis Raychek. Jeff is at Ferrara Stadium for Antonian and Central Catholic. Travis out in Taylor for the Ducks and the Batlin Billies. But Joaquin, it's crazy that we're this deep into it now. 2 weeks left in the regular season. We've got district championships on the line. We've got playoff spots on the line. This is it.
Yeah, it is hard to believe we've come this far, and last week on this show it was ladies' night. We had Alex and Claire out there. Today it is all gentlemen.
It's good to be back.
But still, of course, giving the love to the ladies here. And when you look at Taylor, you look at Fredericksburg, obviously two of the best mascots in the game. You've got the Batlin Billies taking on the Ducks. This is an interesting district because Liberty Hill was in the district the last couple of years, went perfect, 5-0 both times with them out. It's kind of open for everybody else.
Yeah, for sure. It's a big opportunity for Taylor, but they've got work to do. I'm going to turn my attention to Taylor right now. That is where we find Travis Raychek. You saw him just a moment ago. Travis, both these teams still contenders for the playoffs. The Ducks, though, they've got more on the line than just getting to the playoffs. They could get in the mix for the district title. Break it down for us.
All right, Ricky, so here's the situation. Taylor coming into the game 2-0 in District 14 4A. A win tonight sets up a big game for them next week. And Coach Purser was telling us earlier in the week, they've calculated that it's been about 20 years, 1996, since Taylor won a district title. So that means a lot to them. What also means a lot to them is beating Fredericksburg, because last year Fredericksburg came here in the final game of the regular season and knocked off the Ducks 33-32. So plenty on the line here in Taylor tonight. The Batlin Billies ruined senior night here last season, so Taylor hoping to avenge that defeat tonight. Game started a little bit slow, but took off late first quarter. Jarrell Crittenden, a 3-yard run that'll put Taylor on top 7-0. On the ensuing kickoff, Tyler Burns is going to field it for Fredericksburg at about the 5-yard line. He's got a little bit of a lane, and now we have something cooking. Burns breaks free, and he is going to take it to the house. 95 yards, cuts into the Taylor lead, now a 7-6 game. But the first play of Taylor's next drive, yeah, I told you the action escalated quickly. It's Crittenden. He's not going down. Going to pick up a block from Malik Jackson, and this will cover 75 yards, 14-6 at the end of the first. His night still fresh. Before half, the shifty senior squeezes out of the mix, and he's gone again. Taylor up 21-6 at the break. The Batlin Billies made it a game in the third quarter with a touchdown to cut it to a one-score game, but Taylor answered right back early fourth quarter. Delane Hornsby getting in the end zone to push it back to a 14-point game. Right after that, Crittenden touchdown number 4 on the night. So Taylor on top, 35-21 in the fourth quarter, just over 5 minutes to go. Looks like the Ducks will go on, get a little revenge on Fredericksburg, and set up that showdown that we were talking about a little bit earlier. It'll be next week against Canyon Lake, the other team that is undefeated in this district. What's crazy, though, is Fredericksburg will be 0-3 in district, but all they have to do is beat Eastside Memorial next week, and they will be in the playoffs too. So, Ricky, that's the breakdown for what's going on in 14-4A and out here at Taylor.
All right, Travis, thank you very much. Certainly no disrespect to Eastside Memorial, but I like their chances in that one next week. All right, Joaquin, please bring it for us.
Of extra importance, of course,
it is,
because
indeed.
I know I picked Taylor, a bunch of us picked Taylor. That's a donation.
Yeah,
right
I think we were unanimous on Taylor.
For the Komen Austin Foundation. So a good win for them and a little bit of revenge. And as Travis mentioned, that sets up a game against Canyon Lake for the Ducks next week to decide the district. All right, let's check out the Holy War. It's our San Antonio game of the week. Tap showdown between Antonian and Central Catholic. The Apaches 8-0 on the season. I know you like that about them. The Buttons 3-5. Records, of course, a little misleading. Jeff Platt joins us from Ferrara Stadium. Records a little misleading, Jeff, but the only ones that matter is that both teams are undefeated in district, right?
Well, Joaquin, I think you're exactly right, and that's what Central Catholic cared about. They wanted to test themselves in non-district play, hence the 5 losses against very tough competition before they entered district play, before they entered games like this against the likes of Antonian. This Central Catholic-Antonian rivalry, guys, has to be one of the best in the city, if not in the entire state. The atmosphere, absolutely electric. Let's get you to the highlights. Antonian fans giving it to the Central Catholic players as they make their way onto the field. Apaches looking to stay undefeated on the season and starting things off right. Jake Smith rolling out and finding John Jordan for the score. Touchdown, Antonian. Apaches lead 7-0. This guy does push-ups. Here come the buttons. Jacob Nava finds Thomas Palomera across the middle of the field. Palomera, pretty impressive gain. It sets up the buttons very well for that duo to connect once again. Nava to Palomera. Palomera to the end zone for the score, and Central Catholic has tied this thing up at 7 as this gentleman goes crazy. Central Catholic moving again on a 4th down play here. Nava to Austin Vargas. Down to the 2-yard line, hit the drum. Central Catholic's turn to take the lead. Caleb Salinas takes the handoff and punches it into the end zone, but Antonian's dance party didn't want to stop. It's Smith to Kite McDonald down the sideline, makes the catch into the end zone untouched. That ties this game up before the half. But Central Catholic went up 27-21 in the 4th, and adding to that lead here, it's Austin Vargas again taking the handoff, getting into the end zone for the score. Quite the game for Vargas, quite the game for the Central Catholic Buttons. The Buttons coming up with another win against Antonian, this one 40-21. That moves Central Catholic to 2-0 in district play. Antonian falls to 1-1, so Central Catholic really has a stranglehold on this district, and really it's just another impressive win for the Buttons in this electric atmosphere, in this unbelievable rivalry that they have with Antonian. Plenty more to come here from Ferrara Stadium at Antonian. For now, guys, let's send it back to you in the studio.
Dang.
More money.
It's good.
For the Coleman Austin.
It's a good win for Central Catholic. I mean, I still give Antonian credit. 8-0 is still really impressive, but sometimes it's hard to get past that rival.
Yeah, they beat them good. The Central Catholic beat them well last year, and there it goes. Again. No longer undefeated. Let's switch gears. District 25-6A. This is the Lake Travis district, as it should be known, because they are obviously the class of the district. You've also got Westlake and Vandergrift in the playoffs, but after that, it's really wide open.
Yeah, a lot of teams in the mix for that final playoff spot, notably Vista Ridge, Hayes, and Leander. Lake Travis taking on Vista Ridge. Number 3 team in Class 6A. Rangers trying to stay in the mix for the 4th playoff spot, and LT had those zombie cheerleaders at Gupton Stadium. They start this one off with a little trickery. I don't know if they needed tricks, but they did it anyway. Charlie Brewer looks like he's calling to the line. Ball snapped back to running back Garrett Brissett, who flips it to Garrett Wilson. He goes to the air. Connor Holley takes it down to the 1. Next play, Brissett punches it in here. Cavs go up 7-0. As you would expect, it is all LT in this one. Brewer to Brissett, and 34 yards for a touchdown. Lake Travis rolling here 61-7.
They don't mind putting it on teams like that either. This is Westlake taking on Leander at Bible Stadium. Shaps up 17-0. Andrew Boykin, seeing this guy everywhere. Nice grab right there. Sets up Westlake for the field goal, and that makes it 20-0. Lions not laying down though. As we mentioned, this is a team that needs a win and could get into the playoffs in the 4th spot. This one, though, wrapped up the defenders there all over him, and then it's David Neal and Jet Hannon getting a sack. Westlake defense coming to play also 34-0 in the 4th.
David Neal, son of Dan Neal, Texas and Broncos great. Vandergrift can also lock up its spot in the playoffs with a win over Hayes. The Rebels also still alive, though. First quarter, Isaiah Smallwood trying to make something happen. 56-yard pickup for the Vipers, but they're unable to capitalize. So let's go to the second quarter. Vandy defense stepping up. They force the fumble here. Cole Walther is there for the recovery. So Alex Fernandez in the offense. Gonna go to work here. Fernandez evades some Hayes defenders, goes up top to the birthday boy. How's a 53-yard touchdown as a B-Day present? Justin Florence. I guess it really is his birthday, huh? Scores to put Vandergrift. Oh, they're singing to him.
Yeah. Happy birthday, buddy.
That's cool. I like that. All right, Vandegrift leading 17-9, a win, and they are officially into the playoffs.
And yeah, that's a team that struggled early, and they kept losing games in non-district by 1 point here, 2 points there, but really have it roll in the second half of the season.
And played some really good teams out of district play, so they were tested to be sure. All right, time for our first break here on Sports Night. When we come back, a special story we want to bring you tonight on the Blitz. Stay with us. Be right back.
This is the high school Blitz. You're watching the high school Blitz. Go Knights.
Look at that guy. That's our buddy Danny Davis from the Austin American. We miss his work on the high school Blitz, or on the high school beat, I should say. He's covering the Longhorns now. Good to see Danny on the show.
Still at all the McCallum games because his wife is the cheerleading coach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't have to be impartial. You know, he's no longer a high school journalist.
You
so
saw him rocking all the Knights gear.
He's a proud McCallum Knight now. Well, as part of our special show dedicated to breast cancer awareness and support tonight, we wanted to bring you a local story of a family battling the disease.
Yeah, Ricky, the Rouse football season isn't going as planned for them. They're just 4-4 on the year, but that's nowhere close to the most important thing happening in Cooper Ligon's world. When he was just 12 years old, his life changed forever.
Everywhere you look, football players are wearing pink. For most of them, it's a fun accent, a little way to say that they support breast cancer awareness. For Rouse senior defensive lineman Cooper Ligon and his mom Tracy, it goes far beyond a fashion statement.
I was actually on the phone when they told me the first time that it was cancer. I think I was in denial. I decided to go with the double mastectomy because it was really aggressive. It was early detection, so I thought I'll just get this out of the way.
But unfortunately, that wasn't it. She was just beginning her battle with breast cancer.
Last summer, I had a lump that developed. It came back to be the same kind of cancer, and it had come back again. So this time around, I didn't get to escape chemo and radiation.
All in all, it's been 11 surgeries for Tracy spanning the last 5 years. But during that time, she hasn't missed a beat taking care of Cooper and his older sister.
It just shows me how strong she was and how she managed to stay being the great mom she is, battle breast cancer, and then still be my greatest supporter, be at every single game, be at every single ultimate Frisbee game, every event that I could possibly be in that I was being with in Young Life. Anything, she would drive me there, anything I needed, she was there, didn't even affect her.
Tracy says throughout this entire battle, the outpouring of support from friends and family has been really special. None greater than the surprise that her son gave her during the darkest days.
Losing your hair is pretty tough. All the surgeries were a piece of cake. That was probably the hardest part.
I just knew that she was going to go through chemotherapy, and obviously I was 15 or 16, so I knew that she was going to lose her hair, and I thought, I'm not going to let my mom go through this alone. She's been having to go through the rest of this alone. This is something I can control. And then I think the day before I told her, I was like, I'm going to get my head shaved with you. And she just looked at me and she just hugged me. And then the next day, just walked right in there. Whenever I went in there, she just shaved it right down the middle so I couldn't turn back. And it was a great moment, taking pictures afterwards and just being along with her.
It was his idea, not mine. And I thought that was great. And we went and did it. We got faux hawks first. And then she went ahead and shaved it, so it was really nice, and I thought that was really sweet of him.
But the story doesn't end there. Having your mom fight breast cancer can be a lot to process for a teenager and make you grow up in a hurry. Luckily, Cooper has a great support system as well.
Then some of his friends from school caught wind of it, and they shaved their heads, and then they came to the house, and we all took a picture together, and they had shaved heads, and I thought that touched me more than, I couldn't believe that they had done that. It was really sweet.
I get my head shaved, and I'm just talking to my mom, and I get a Snapchat from them, and it's 3 of my teammates, and they just have their head shaved, and they're sitting in one of my best friend's Jeeps, and it was just just brought a smile to my face, and I was like, all right, I'm not doing this alone either.
So story of community and love there, and a quick update on Tracy. She's cancer-free as of August, so that's fantastic. This was after chemo and radiation. Doctors say there's still an 11% chance it could come back for a third time. And as for Cooper, you saw them there filling out some applications, talking about college. Right now, I'm a smart kid, obviously, so he's going to go to college. He wants to go to Texas A&M. That's where he's leaning in the fall.
Well, first of all, really appreciate them sharing their story with us, and obviously our thoughts with Tracy and hoping that she continues to stay cancer-free. And as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, we are donating money for all of our correct picks in the Friday forecast tonight. You can too. Please donate along with us. You can go to ColemanAustin.org. You see the website there on your screen, so please donate. And you know what they say, Joaquin, it really is a disease that affects everybody. So I think in one way or another, we're all touched somehow by it. But great story.
Yeah, thank you very much. So Cooper and company still with an outside shot as we switch the focus back to football here. Outside shot of making the playoffs. There he is. Cooper Ligon trying to get it done. Another tough thing here. Garrett Sumner passed away last year in a car accident. Would have been a senior, so senior night for Elgin right there. Okay, DeMonte Strong airing this one out to Simmons. DeClaven gets his feet down at 7-0 Wildcats. Still in the first quarter, Strong steps back, buys time, rolls right, chunks it to DeClaven again in the back of the end zone. Great catch there. Gets the feet down, makes it 14-0. Student, they're obviously supporting breast cancer awareness, wearing the pink as well. Let's get you a score from this one. Rouse trying to come back. Oh, we got a good game here. 34-all in the fourth.
All right, no playoff spots on the line for Bastrop and Eastview, just playing out the season, but it is Pink Out Night at Bastrop Memorial Stadium as well, of course, supporting breast cancer awareness. First quarter, here we go. Eastview's Cameron Noel hands it off to number 30, Torrey Davis. Look at Davis go, blasting through the Bastrop D, takes it 22 yards for a touchdown. Patriots would try for a two-point conversion. They don't get it, so it's 6-0. Later on, Calvin Hendricks to Dalton Thomas, who carries it in to get Bastrop on the board. Bears, well, they're like, why don't we go for two also? And, well, it didn't work any better for them, so we're tied at 6. Kick the extra point, coaches. There's nothing wrong with it. Still in the first, it worked once for the Patriots. It'll work again. Well in for a touchdown. Eastview goes up 13-7. It's 47-20. Eastview in the lead.
Number 2 in 5A, Cedar Park taking on Hutto. And here's Chase Griffin. Looked good all season. Finds DJ Baptist, who off the tip right there. Great concentration. That's a touchdown right there. A phenomenal play for the Hippos. They were, giving T-Wolves all they could handle, and then it's CP time. Max Sexton fires to Hayden Craig. Breaks the tackle right here. Breaks another tackle and is off to the races. That's a touchdown. And then it is Chase Griffin. Looks like he's being chased. That Black Rain defense does not mess around here. Pass is picked off by Jordan Diver. Able to get some defensive points on the board. Cedar Park starting to pull away in this one. Here's Griffin dropping back and throwing it again. Showed you earlier in the show, Taylor with a big win over Fredericksburg in our Austin area game of the week. And the big guy in the game, Jarrell Crittenden, 5 touchdowns.
That's pretty good.
Running back for the Ducks, standing by with Travis Straycheck.
That's right, guys. A big win for the Taylor Ducks tonight. And the man who had a huge impact joining me right now, running back Jarrell Crittenden. 5 touchdowns tonight. What got into you, man?
I don't know. Just came out, felt like playing. Played hard, 100%. Got the job done.
5 touchdowns is good, right?
That'll get it done.
Yeah, good night's work for him. All right, so that's our Austin area game of the week, our San Antonio area game of the week, Antonian and Central Catholic. The Buttons getting their rivals once again. Jeff Platt is with their quarterback, Jacob Nava.
All right, thanks. Central Catholic beats Antonian 40-21 here with Buttons quarterback Jacob Nava. Jacob, how good does this win feel?
This win feels great. I mean, all of our seniors, we've been fighting hard. We've been practicing hard to get this win. We've been wanting to win this for a long time. We haven't had too much success in the past, but our seniors left us with the win last year, and we followed up with the same.
That is 2 wins in a row for you guys in this holy war. What does this rivalry mean to you guys?
It really means so much. It's like since I've known I was going to Central Catholic, there's been such a rivalry between these 2 schools. And I've just always wanted to win, put on for my school, for my family, and my friends. I just want to get this win for them.
How would you describe the atmosphere tonight? It was packed on the Antonian side, but also the Central Catholic side as well.
The atmosphere is like none other. I see a rivalry like this with all these fans out here coming to support these great players. It's great. It's like none other. It's crazy how much we really support and how our schools come out and support the players here today, and we're just happy to get that win.
They came out, they scored first, they hit you guys pretty hard. How were you able to respond and eventually get this win?
I responded with hyping up my linemen for sure. They're the source of our offense right there. They put the most work in. They lead this team to victory, and our defense as well. I just told them keep their heads up, keep playing hard, and we can get this W.
Finally, Jacob, what's next for this team? What are the goals as you guys close out the season?
Goals for this team is to finish off with St. Anthony's with W, retain our district championship, and we're going to try to get into playoffs, try to make something happen.
Have fun celebrating, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, that's Central Catholic quarterback Jacob Navas. Central Catholic beats Antonian 40-21. Let's send it back to you guys in the studio.
That was awesome.
Yeah, how's Jeff going to celebrate? He wants Jeff to celebrate the win.
What do you think? You think Jeff's going to party with the buttons tonight?
He should.
Yeah, sure. Why not? That was funny. I like it. All right, going to take another break here on the Blitz. When we come back, more scores to pass along. Stay with us. All right, more scores for you. St. Michael's 28-6 winner. Liberty Hill falls on the road. Good China Spring Team 42-10 the score there.
Vernon Bulldogs beat Lampasas 42-6. Lockhart Lions 31-17 over Marble Falls.
All right, and we mentioned that this is our special breast cancer awareness edition of the Blitz. Look at this, getting some support from our team. Everybody decked out in pink tonight. Thanks to everyone for dressing the part tonight, looking good as well. And before we wrap it up, want to one more time give you that website, ColemanAustin.org. That's who we're donating money to for our picks, even if they were lousy. In my case, we encourage you to go to the website and do the same thing. It was fun.
It was fun. I'm glad we did this. It's an important cause, and obviously having been through October and this is the end of it, I'm glad we did it. It was nice.
All right, only 2 more blitzes left. Next week, the end of the regular season. That is hard to believe. We'll see you then as we find out who's going to the postseason and who's staying home.